history of records there. But we just talked last half hour about how parts of this country all over dealing with this heat. According to that, the entire world is dealing with it. So it's just one of those things that doesn't seem like you're going to be able to escape.
Right. I mean, and that's also doing the average of the entire world where we have data points. And yeah, there are some places that are colder, but whenever you factor in everyone across the world, yeah, our temperatures are climbing, and they have been for quite some time. And it seems like we break a record every month.
Not good for those AC bills, I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely not, especially during these kind of afternoons, right? When we have the heat advisories in place across North Texas. The heat index up to 106 today. So the heat advisory, that's going to begin at noon and it goes until 8 this evening. But we will likely see this get extended to include tomorrow and the next day because we're expecting very similar conditions. And again, it's most of North Texas that extends north into Oklahoma and into Arkansas as well as Louisiana. So here's what you need to know about today. It's going to be sunny, hot, and rain-free. We have the heat advisory that will be in place this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear, dry. Temperatures drop into the 70s. And our next big change happens as early as Thursday. We're going to see rain return into the area, and that's going to also help lower our temperatures, which is always a welcome sight for July, especially here in North Texas. But I do want to point out how the haze that we saw over the weekend is actually looking a little bit better. Our Fair Park camera is pointed towards downtown Dallas, and you can see the buildings very clearly. Temperature right now, by the way, 88, feeling like 97. I was driving back from my parents' house in Arlington to Dallas just yesterday afternoon, and you could barely see downtown, and it was because of the Saharan dust that had blown in from, well, Africa. And we definitely see this time of the year. It's very common to see this. Our Saharan dust forecast does show that it's going to lower in amounts as the week progresses, but right now we do see a thicker plume closer to the Red River. Now that's going to eventually push north and disperse, but this all comes from the Saharan desert. This dust gets blown up because thunderstorms there can be very, very volatile, but then dust gets carried across the Atlantic, moves into the Gulf, and eventually into the Gulf states. So you might have felt it kind of impact you, kind of like what allergies feel like. You could have felt that over the weekend. This Saharan dust, generally, we see lowered activity in the Atlantic with tropical systems when this is in place. So we'll likely continue to see that the rest of the week. Meanwhile, we'll start to see really our levels lower here as early as this afternoon. Right now it's 89 degrees. It feels like 97 with a south wind at about 10 to 15. Today, 97 degrees around 2, but 100 degrees around 4. It'll feel closer to about 103 when you factor in the humidity that we definitely have back in full force across the area. 102 the high temperature for Denton, McKinney, 100 in Fort Worth and in Dallas. I'm expecting the triple digits again Tuesday and on Wednesday, but look at Thursday. 92 degrees in July, and it's all thanks to rain moving in and that added cloud cover sticking around. So this is all being brought on by a front. So I'm going to stop the clock here about 7 p.m. on your Wednesday, and you can see just a little bit of rain potential there. This continues to move south. I'm thinking it arrives sometime early Thursday between 8 and 10. I'm expecting this rain to stick around throughout the day Thursday, about 40% coverage for us. You can see it there. And the coverage does go down to about 20% come Friday, Saturday, goes up a little bit on Sunday. But you see that rain kind of just hanging out. There's Thursday night. Friday, it starts to go away a little bit, but that rain potential still staying with us. So of course, that's in turn going to help our temperatures. But as far as how much rain we could pick up, anywhere between 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch, looking possible for us. And again, that'll be over the course of the next week, with it beginning as early as Thursday. I am expecting to see those temperatures stay in the mid to low 90s throughout the weekend and into even parts of next week. We could even see an 80-degree day next week. We are also going to see that the rain potential stays with us early next week. Overall, 3 triple-digit heat days in the next 2 weeks is not bad for July, Chris.
We miss the 80s in more ways than one. Thank you, Mario.